Hunter X Owner, Chapter 349. Review the Battle Royale setup. Okay, when the Blackwell departure horn ends, it's on. It's a Prince War. Oh, this gets... There's parts of this I had to stop and look at some of this stuff. The fourth Prince. A lot of things about this guy. Okay, his death art fetish and everything in the beginning, right? And I mean, the whole thing, okay... Kruppika has like his shrine, you know, to his clan and all that, and then to see the fourth prince on the throne, and the eyes and all the other dead stuff, I can't wait for Kruppika to see this. Can you imagine? He's gonna, or maybe not. He's gonna go, but he's gonna. There's no way this guy can't go completely bat crazy when he sees this thing. Okay, and this guy's just—it's not even just his. The eyes of his clan, all the rest of it is just all these death artifacts, right? This is a collector sitting on that throne. Anyway, so the Prince Wars, the whole thing about they're all males and females. When I first saw this, I saw the first one, I saw the second, and I said, here we go. We got ladyboy stuff going on. You're like, okay, whatever. But then they said that everyone is just called a prince. I guess that was the way they had to do it to make sure, regardless of gender, everyone had a chance at the throne. So I said, okay, either way, whatever. But, and then they're giving us a lot of details here. The writing of Togashi's, he's always giving us the stuff here, right? 8 legal wives, 14 heirs, right? And then we can talk about, breaking down the different ones, all the way to like a baby, right? We can talk about that stuff in the Hangout. If we have it this week, if enough people show up. Last week we didn't, but usually people do. So it's been a while. I think it's the first time since I've done the Hangouts that we didn't have one, I think, last week, because we didn't have anybody else showed up. All right, let's see. Except for James, which I really appreciate, although you're not quite caught up with the series. So, but we talked anyhow, but we couldn't make a hangout about Hunter x Hunter. Anyway, continuing on. Let's see. Actually, we talked about Naruto. But anyway, this week's going to be interesting. But anyway, continuing on. Oh boy, the ceremonial pot. Okay, at this, the whole blood. Here's some blood, and stick your hand. I didn't trust that guy anyhow. Okay, and I thought. I mean, you don't. You're like, this guy could be lying. Okay, he's like, it's when the horn. It's like, no, it's already on, and he's just BSing, right? When I saw the girl and the pill, that's when I said, you just got nailed, fourth. You just got killed, And this is the whole BS thing. You were the first casualty, fourth. Girl with the pill, but no, that wasn't it. The pot ovum, egg. Yu Yu Hakusho, baby. Oh yes, the whole thing. Remember? The egg, and it's hatched. If you got evil, it's evil. If it's good, it's good. Not exactly the same. Sacred beasts are not exactly the same at all. But it's a similar in a way. Okay, the whole egg thing, and then it does have to do with your own personality, your own strengths, and everything. And someone that's weak, this is going to make it. I think that baby's not gonna have a good time. I think the baby and the kids are going to have a real problem. Okay, but sacred beasts. It's like, oh my gosh. And he does this, and they don't even know. The fourth doesn't even know that guess what? You got a sacred beast going to happen. I don't even know when that thing's going to hatch. That's going to be weird. That's what we're waiting on. Is he's going to go? How does this thing activate? Right? When does this thing? Does it activate on the ship? Is there some set thing? That's something I don't understand. Okay, and then the whole thing. Okay, and then we get. Speaking of sacred beasts, we go to the king. That picture with him. Okay. A dozen. You're probably going to hear some lightning out while I'm doing this. Frantic storm. We have a dozen breasts with these giant erect nipples on them. It's a dozen. Okay, I counted. And also 10 arms. I thought it was 8, but then there's 2 down there holding them. So there's 10 arms, and then a tongue thing maybe coming out of his mouth. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a spiderish body, but I was like, I would have never thought of that. That's pretty crazy. Okay, now it haunts those. Okay, these sacred beasts. It haunts those with strong affinity for death. And I went, fourth prince. This guy's got this death thing, right? This whole death fetish. I'm sure that's probably linked to that. It just has to be, right? And it feeds on the aura of those it haunts, and those people have influence on the form and ability. But since it's not created from their body, it's not bound by the will of its host. So it has influence. I guess, you want them to do this or that, but they have a choice. And it says on the will of its host, right? Like it's a parasite. It's a parasite, right? Which it is. It's feeding off of the aura, you know, of them. So it's a parasitic relationship. Okay, it wants them to live because it's feeding on it, right? But what happens? Because it has a will of its own. Just remember that. What happens when this sacred beast gets? It's like ideas to kill someone or do whatever floats this sacred beast boat, you know, right? To other people around him. I mean, it may not be a harm to that individual. Just think about it. This thing's like, well, I think I'll just do this or that, you know, and because it doesn't care. The guy didn't. You know, I mean, 14 of these sacred beasts running around doing, and sometimes kind of doing whatever the heck. I guess always doing whatever they want, but not always influenced by the host, I guess. So 14 princes, all with bodyguards and all with sacred beasts, and only one prince is going to walk away to be king. Whoa, this is crazy. I am getting a little antsy though. I like getting information, the feedback, when I'm starting to get to where we need to go ahead and get on the boat. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get to that point. I like all this. I mean, maybe one more chapter, but we need. I mean, at the end of that chapter, we need to get on that boat. But I think that's the whole thing with the double issue that's going to happen next time around. So hopefully that's what it is. We get on the boat, we can get rolling, and some princes are going to start dying, male and female. Okay, and Ox, and then we go to the whole thing with Ox and Beyond. And it was a fair amount of dialogue, but it basically, to me, just kind of boiled down to Beyond's like, look, you will all, you know, in the end of this, you're not going to bow your heads down to me, okay? And this other stuff is basically being, he didn't say it, but it's being handled by other people, Paris, right? So he's like, I'm going to be on the boat anyhow. I'm going to go there because these other people are going to request it. I'm famous, and you're not going to deny me anything. You have no leverage. That's basically what he's saying. He's just saying, Ox, you guys have no leverage over me. Okay, I'm going to put up with this. I'm going to get to where I want to go, and then I'm going to be happy because you're not going to be able to hold on to me. I mean, this is just he knows. He's just comfortable. He's like, all this stuff's getting worked out. Now we get to the whole thing of Monkey's abilities. You lose your sight, hearing, and speech, right? I mean, whoever he hits with this thing, right? He connect. I guess the thing is, from the reading, his attacks have to connect. Okay. But your sight, hearing, and speech, it's kind of important, right? And then he says, I use my staff for the beatdown, right? You know, ouch. I guess so. I mean, what are you going to do? He even said the thing, well, you would think the enhancers wouldn't be that much affected, but you can tell by their aura what's going on and everything, and they panic and freak out. It's probably because their nature, right? You know, and that's crazy. Now, Ox and Kruppika, okay, they're going to monitor Monkey's communications, and they're not going to follow him, and they're not going to confront him, obviously. But they're going to just go by the communications, see if they can figure out what's going on there. So that's like, I guess you'd say, a real light way of monitoring someone, right? You know, you're not. They don't know you're following them because you're not. You're just monitoring the communication. Okay, now here, this is where it gets complicated. I love this part of what Togashi does here. Okay, so they're like, okay, we're going to jail Monkey. Okay, just before we land, okay? And we're going to do it, the timing of this, so the enemy doesn't have time to change their plans, okay? Because if they just jail him, they go, oh, we'll just get somebody else to free him or do whatever. So that's good. And then okay, it's not a problem yet, okay? And then a large problem is they don't have evidence on Monkey. They have to reveal the whole, tell each about their abilities was just to catch them lying. They have to bring out Kruppika, right? When telling everyone their abilities has pulled them closer. So then they get this benefit, right? And then it would just completely explode. So the pressure is on to find something incriminating on Monkey separate from Kruppika, okay? And Ox is already pretty much, they're gonna nail him. He's the one that's gonna take all the heat on this, okay? And Ox will take the hit big time. And he's even saying, he says, look, there's people that don't care about what you find. They just care about how you did it. And this isn't good. It's just going to explode. So all this stuff, this cohesion, this nice thing that they've created right here will blow up. Okay. So the pressure's on from here to there. They have to find something on Monkey, right? Or they're going to have to let him go. They might even get to that pressure and say, you know what? We just have to see what he's going to do. And because, you know, I want to get all this pressure on me. And at the end, a couple of quick things, is Cheadle brings up the issue that the princes are hiring some of the exam failures in the Hunter exam. Okay, not that big a deal to me. Not a shock, not a surprise. Makes sense. Okay, and then at the end, I really don't understand this. What are the 6 mystery clues that fall before these comrades' eyes? So I'm not sure about. That's something I'd really like to get into the Hangout. Of course, I'll have a link down below, once again, to my Hangout channel, which you can see down there. And if while you're on the Hangout channel, if you'll make a comment if you want to be on there, because then I know you're on the channel. If you're here, then you know what I mean. That's kind of need you to do that on a video. Also, you have to get the plug-in, okay, to be in the Hangouts. You can find that Google plug-in for Hangouts and all that. And then I'll give you an invite. You can go on there. So, but the invites don't always work. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So anyway, patience, please. All right, this was another awesome, amazing chapter. And my gosh, Togashi, you are so freaking awesome a writer. And Hunter x Hunter is so entertaining. I can't wait till this stuff gets animated. And we talk about the week's anime and the chapter every week that he puts it out. So there you go. Be there. Have fun. Until next time. Take care.